Thanks for watching AM Northwest. Dave is off today. Our next guest is a rare combination of board-certified medical doctor, naturopathic physician, and Chinese medicine master. Now, with kids back in school and colds starting to spread, there are things that we can do to stay healthy. Here with his simple tips, we welcome back Dr. Daniel Newman. Always good to see you, Doctor.
Helen. It's always a pleasure to be here.
It's that time of year where we start thinking about the cold and flu season, isn't it?
I know. Fall is falling.
Yeah.
And so there are 10 steps that I go through in my newsletter that people can look at on my website and learn how to boost their immune system. And I want to highlight 5 of them today.
Okay, sure, let's do that.
First is adequate sleep and rest. Now that's kind of self-evident, but most people just don't get enough of that. Then there's proper nutrition, proper diet, then exercise, herbs, and supplements.
Okay, let's touch on first the proper nutrition.
Sure.
So, eating your vegetables and fruits.
Well, there's a lot to nutrition, but there are also what you might think of as nutritional superfoods that all cultures have come up with. Things like garlic, ginger, miso. These have antimicrobial properties. Raw honey has an enzyme called glucose oxidase that produces hydrogen peroxide that's antimicrobial. They even use it on burns and other kinds of wounds. And then there are things like medicinal mushrooms. You can find them in the farmers markets, the shiitake and maitake mushrooms. They're delicious to cook. And if you don't want to eat them, there are supplements like maitake extract that you can take.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, and so let's talk about the supplements that you just mentioned. Let's start with that then.
Well, before we start talking about specific supplements, what people need to know is that what's most important is the quality of the supplements. You're going to get what you pay for. Don't expect cheap supplements to work for you.
Okay.
So with that as a background, what you want to start with is a really good quality multivitamin, because you want vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin C, minerals like zinc and selenium are all critical for optimal immune function.
Okay, definitely a multivitamin.
Yeah, so multivitamin, like there's the Vital Detox nutrients, Vital Multi 1, Vital Multi 2. These are formulas I've designed, but there are other good ones out there as well.
Okay.
Then even if you take a multivitamin, most people in this part of the country are not going to get enough vitamin D, especially in the winter.
Lack of sun.
And I do recommend that people get their vitamin D levels, 25-hydroxy vitamin D levels, checked. So you can take additional vitamin D as a supplement in capsules or in liquid, or you can take cod liver oil, which has vitamin D. I saw that face, which has vitamin D in it. Now, I've given.
I wasn't smizing, I can tell you that.
No, and it was subtle, but I saw that. And you can take it as a liquid form in regular fermented, or for those of you for whom fish is not exactly the happiest thing to eat, you can take capsules. You can even freeze the capsules so that they don't you don't burp up fish oil. And then aside from vitamin D and essential fatty acids, there are herbs and supplements. There are lots of different ones out there. There are things like Epicor, which is one of my favorites. It's a yeast extract that was originally designed for horses. And they found that people in the manufacturing plant were getting less colds and flus, and then they figure out that it works for people too.
Oh, fantastic. Now, let's say you're on the verge of getting a cold or a flu. Is there anything that you can really do? Because we've heard of some things out there that work, and I've taken them and they don't work.
Yeah, that's a little bit more of a complicated subject. There are a lot of things that you can do. One of the things that I found is that a well-timed acupuncture treatment can oftentimes get rid of a cold or flu on the spot. I've done that with many of my patients. And then there are other kinds of herbs and supplements that you want to take if you're starting to come down with a cold or a flu. I've got an article on my website people can read called Influencing Influenza, where I go through all of that topic. So the ones I brought today are more for just preventing the cold and flu. Like there's called acute immunity, a combination that's been developed more recently, and then Yuping Feng San, which is a classical Chinese formula called Jade Windscreen.
I'm glad you said that, because I couldn't.
I'd say it again if provoked.
We want to tell folks we're going to put the information on our website too, but we want to contact Rising Health, 360-696-3800. And as you mentioned, all the topic you talked about is in your newsletter this month, so we can check that out as well with all the tips right there.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Helen.
All right, our favorite home cook shares one of her favorite recipes, her favorite cookie recipe, after the break.